Did you know that millions of Filipinos are living and working across Asia, creating vibrant communities far from home? In 2025, some Asian countries are overflowing with Filipinos, with populations reaching hundreds of thousands. From the bustling streets of Dubai to the high-tech cities of Japan, Filipinos have built strong communities, proving their skills and resilience. But which country has the most? Stay till the end to find out. Like, subscribe, and share this video. If you're living in any of these countries, drop a comment and share your experience. We'd love to hear your story. Number 10. Oman. Did you know that Filipinos have been migrating to Oman since the 1980s? In 2025, the Filipino population has grown to 50,000, a 12% increase from just 5 years ago. Oman may not be as famous as its Gulf neighbors, but it has become a top destination for overseas Filipino workers, especially in construction, healthcare, and engineering. Filipinos have been instrumental in building Oman's modern skyline, working on massive projects in Muscat and Salalah. The Omani government has implemented stricter labor laws, but demand for Filipinos remains high. Many arrive through recruitment agencies, while others take risks by flying to Oman on tourist visas and finding jobs later. Surprisingly, Tagalog is now one of the most spoken foreign languages in Muscat's service industry. Filipino-owned restaurants, bakeries, and grocery stores have popped up, making entire areas feel like home. Despite Oman's harsh desert climate, Filipinos continue to arrive, some even bringing their families and securing long-term residency. The Filipino presence in Oman is growing, proving that even in lesser-known destinations, OFWs thrive and build communities. Number 9. Bahrain. Bahrain may be one of the smallest countries in the world, but it's home to a booming Filipino community of 55,790 in 2025. Filipinos started migrating here in the 1990s, and their numbers have steadily increased due to high demand in hospitality, healthcare, and retail. Many Filipinos work in luxury hotels, shopping malls, and restaurants, where their hospitality and work ethic make them highly valued employees. Did you know that Filipinos make up 4% of Bahrain's total population? Entire districts in Manama are filled with Filipino-owned businesses, from carinderias and barbershops to sari-sari stores. What makes Bahrain unique is its religious tolerance. Unlike other Gulf nations, Filipinos can freely practice Christianity here. Catholic churches hold Tagalog masses, and Sundays feel like home, with thousands gathering to worship and socialize. Bahrain's relaxed lifestyle and welcoming policies make it one of the most Filipino-friendly Gulf states. Despite strict labor policies, thousands of Filipinos continue to arrive, seeking better opportunities in this island nation. Number 8. Taiwan. Did you know that Filipinos started migrating to Taiwan as early as the 1980s? In 2025, the Filipino population has grown to 150,000, making them one-third of Taiwan's total foreign workforce. Many work in electronics, caregiving, and manufacturing, helping power Taiwan's booming semiconductor and technology industry. Thousands of Filipinos are employed in factories producing smartphones, microchips, and appliances, making their contribution vital to Taiwan's economy. But it's not just factory work. Filipino caregivers are in high demand due to Taiwan's aging population. Taiwanese families often prefer Filipinos because of their patience, warmth, and English skills. In Taipei, Kaohsiung, and Taichung, Filipino communities are thriving, with entire neighborhoods lined with Filipino eateries, grocery stores, and churches. Taiwan has even relaxed visa policies for Filipinos, making it easier for overseas Filipino workers to renew contracts and bring their families. Despite political tensions with China, Taiwan remains a top choice for Filipino workers, offering steady employment and a growing community that feels like home. Number 7. Singapore. Did you know that Filipinos have been migrating to Singapore since the 1970s? In 2025, their population has reached 200,000, making them one of the largest foreign communities in the country. Filipinos are highly sought after in healthcare, engineering, education, and hospitality, with many working as nurses, IT specialists, and teachers. In fact, some Singaporean malls have more Filipino employees than locals. Sundays in Singapore feel like a mini Manila, especially in Lucky Plaza on Orchard Road, where thousands of Filipinos gather to shop, eat, and send money home. Tagalog is commonly heard in shopping centers and train stations, proving how deeply Filipinos have integrated into Singaporean society. Interestingly, a growing number of Filipinos have managed to secure permanent residency, making Singapore their second home. As Singapore continues to face an aging population and labor shortages, the demand for Filipino workers remains high. Despite strict laws, Filipinos continue to thrive, finding stability and success in this modern, fast-paced city-state. Number 6. Qatar. Qatar may be small, but it is home to a massive 236,000 Filipinos in 2025, a 15% increase from 2020. Filipinos first arrived in large numbers in the 1990s, and their population exploded after the 2022 FIFA World Cup, when Qatar needed workers for its construction, aviation, and hospitality industries. Today, thousands of Filipinos work for Qatar Airways, including pilots, engineers, and flight attendants. Did you know that entire districts in Doha are now filled with Filipino restaurants, grocery stores, and even churches? Filipinos are so valued in Qatar that the government signed labor agreements with the Philippines to bring in more skilled workers. Despite temperatures reaching over 50 degrees Celsius in summer, Filipinos continue to arrive, seeking better opportunities. Qatar's strict labor laws present challenges, but many Filipinos stay for years, even decades, building careers and sending billions of pesos in remittances back home. Number 5. Kuwait. Kuwait has been a major OFW destination since the 1980s, and by 2025, the Filipino population has reached 270,000, making up 7% of the country's total population. Despite past labor disputes between Kuwait and the Philippines, Filipinos remain an essential part of Kuwait's workforce, especially in healthcare, retail, and domestic work. Many Filipinos arrive on work visas sponsored by employers, while others take the risk of finding jobs after landing in Kuwait. The Filipino community is strongest in areas like Jalibal Shuyuk, where streets are lined with Filipino eateries, salons, and sari-sari stores. Did you know that some Kuwaiti homes exclusively hire Filipino staff for housekeeping and childcare? Despite strict regulations, Kuwait remains one of the largest homes for overseas Filipino workers in the Middle East. Filipinos continue to arrive, proving that Kuwait's demand for skilled Filipino workers is stronger than ever. Number 4. Malaysia. Did you know that Filipinos have been migrating to Malaysia since the 1970s? In 2025, their population has grown to 325,000, making them one of the largest foreign communities in the country. Many Filipinos, especially from Mindanao and the Visayas, arrived in Malaysia decades ago to work in construction, manufacturing, and domestic services. Others have settled in Sabah, where a long history of migration has created a unique Filipino-Malaysian culture. In Kuala Lumpur, thousands of Filipinos work in hotels, malls, and offices, while others own Filipino restaurants, remittance centers, and beauty salons. Many Filipino children are even born in Malaysia, and some have Malaysian citizenship due to their long-term residency. Despite Malaysia's strict immigration laws, new overseas Filipino workers continue to arrive every year seeking better opportunities. Did you know that some Malaysian companies specifically prefer hiring Filipinos due to their strong English skills and work ethic? The Filipino presence in Malaysia is undeniable, and as the country's economy continues to grow, so does the demand for skilled and hardworking Filipino workers. Number 3. Japan. Filipinos have been coming to Japan since the 1980s, but in 2025, their population has reached a staggering 330,000, making them one of the largest foreign groups in the country. Many Filipinos work in nursing, caregiving, construction, and entertainment, and the demand for Filipino workers has skyrocketed due to Japan's rapidly aging population. Did you know that Japan now actively recruits Filipino nurses and caregivers under special agreements with the Philippine government? Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya have vibrant Filipino communities, with Filipino markets, restaurants, and churches offering a taste of home. Many Filipinos in Japan first arrived as entertainers in the 1990s, but over time, thousands transitioned into skilled jobs and permanent residency. Today, Tagalog is commonly spoken in Japan's international workplaces, and even Japanese schools offer Filipino language programs for children of overseas Filipino workers. Despite the high cost of living and strict visa policies, Filipinos continue to thrive in Japan, building careers, businesses, and even families in one of the world's most advanced nations. Number 2, Saudi Arabia. Did you know that Filipinos have been working in Saudi Arabia since the 1970s? By 2025, their population has reached 600,000, making Saudi Arabia the second largest host of Filipinos in the world. Saudi Arabia was once the top destination for overseas Filipino workers, with thousands arriving every year to work in healthcare, construction, engineering, and domestic services. Some Filipinos have spent 30 to 40 years in Saudi Arabia, even raising families there. Filipinos are deeply integrated into Saudi society, with entire hospitals, hotels, and engineering firms relying on their expertise. Did you know that some Saudi hospitals are staffed by more Filipino nurses than locals? Despite the country's strict laws and cultural differences, Filipinos have built strong communities in cities like Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam. Filipino markets, restaurants, even though Saudi Arabia has started localizing its workforce, the demand for Filipinos remains strong, proving that overseas Filipino workers are an irreplaceable part of the country's economy. Number 1, United Arab Emirates. Did you know that the United Arab Emirates is now home to 700,000 Filipinos, the largest Filipino population in any country outside the Philippines? Filipinos first arrived in the 1980s, and their numbers have exploded due to Dubai and Abu Dhabi's rapid economic growth. Today, Filipinos run entire industries, from aviation and hospitality to healthcare and finance. In fact, Dubai's biggest malls and five-star hotels employ thousands of Filipinos. Sundays in Dubai's St. Mary's Church feel like Manila, with thousands of Filipinos attending Tagalog masses. Filipino grocery stores, restaurants, and even Jollibee outlets are scattered across the UAE, making it feel like home. Many Filipinos arrive on tourist visas and later find work, turning temporary stays into long-term careers. Did you know that some Filipinos have even become UAE citizens after decades of working there? The UAE continues to welcome Filipinos, making it the ultimate OFW destination in the Middle East. Filipinos are everywhere, shaping industries and building communities across Asia. From the Middle East to Japan, their impact is undeniable. Which country surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.